This is a speaking test of the International English Language Testing System taking place on Wednesday, the 12th of October at Medcity International Academy, Kannur. The candidate is Kirtana Teresa Baby and the candidate number is 7489. The examiner is Sangeeta Gopi and the examiner number is 112. The center number is MIA002. May I know your full name?
My full name is Kirtana Teresa Baby.
And how may I address you?
You can call me by my first name, Kirtana.
Alright, Kirtana, may I see your ID, please?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Kirtana, where do you come from?
I'm coming from Kannur. It's a district in Kerala. And the place name is Payyava.
And do you work or are you a student?
I was working for the past 4 years in an international company.
Okay. Alright, so moving on to part 1 of speaking, I'm going to ask you questions about places where people like to meet friends.
Okay.
Where do you like to go to meet your friends?
More preferably some places which have a good ambience. As like people prefer a lot of surroundings. It's like they feel surroundings are the most preferable thing to meet up.
And why are some places better than others for meeting friends?
Mostly, as I said before, it's completely related on the ambience. It's like mostly people used to meet just to take maybe for the photos, or maybe like after many years they might be seeing each other. So they might need to take a photo so that they can remember it or make it to add something to the treasure. So they can use it for that.
Alright, and do you prefer to meet just one friend or a group of friends together?
I am a person who doesn't have a lot of friends, but there are few friends who is too much into my inner circle, and it's like for them it's like just having few friends is also a better thing. It's like they'll be trustworthy and we can share everything and they'll help us with whenever we are in need.
Have the types of places where you meet friends changed since you were younger?
Yes, it's like when younger parents will not allow us to meet anywhere. So the place which we used to meet our friends is in school or maybe in church. And nowadays it has grown, and now that we are actually going to the cafes or maybe the beaches. So it has pretty changed.
All right, moving on to the topic feeling bored. Do you often feel bored?
The time when I feel bored is when I'm used to be in a meeting with in the office. It's like usually we have a work from home option due to this corona. So it's like while having the meetings, we might not be a necessary part in that meeting, but we should be there in the meeting. So that's the time when I feel bored.
And did you find school boring when you were a child?
Yes, as a lot of children, even I felt it as boring, because for me it's like I was not into one of the school. It's like I'll be in one school in 1 year and the next year I'll be in another school because of my father's occupation. So it's like I was not that good with the schools, so it was a boring thing for me.
And what sorts of things do you find most boring now?
As I said before, it's the same thing as my office meetings. It's like if it is a team meeting, yes, we get interacted. But if it is a geo meeting, then we won't be necessary in that meeting. But we should attend it and we'll feel definitely bored.
All right.
We'll never know what is happening.
What do you do to stop yourself from feeling bored?
Usually in those times when we get bored, it's like I used to draw. It's like I like designing and drawing. So it's a freehand drawing, mandala art. So while listening to the meeting itself, I'll try to draw, and that's how I manage my boring thing.
Okay. Talking about personal talents, what sort of things do you think you're good at?
I'm really good at fashion designing and also drawing. I'm okay with singing, but I'm not too much into it. So my main part is like designing field is the main part.
And do you have the same talents as anyone else in your family?
Yes, like my mother. She used to have that crafty things with the woolen thread, like the mats for the tables and all. She used to do. So I think I got it from my mother.
And is there a talent you already have that you would like to improve in the future?
Yes, I would like to improve my singing skills. It's like I have never been in a stage or anything, but
Medcity IELTS app, a complete learning solution. IELTS listening, reading, writing, and speaking module lessons with grammar classes and free practice materials. Get over 50 hours of video lessons. Download Medcity IELTS app now. Available on Android and iOS platforms.
I used to be a coach for my uh, brother while singing. He sings well. So I think if I get an opportunity, I'll definitely go for it.
Right. And do you think you'll use your talents in a future job?
Yes, of course. It's like now I'm working on a job which is not related to my studies or maybe my interest. It's like, so I need to work for a job which interests me. So it's like most probably I'll go with the fashion designing field so that I can get more opportunities there.
All right, so thank you, Kirtana. We're moving on to the second part of speaking. I'll give you your card. This is your card, and here is your pencil. You'll have 1 minute to prepare. You can make notes if you wish to do so. At the end of it, your preparation time, you have to talk on the card for 1 to 2 minutes.
Okay.
Is that clear? All right. So, can you start your preparation now? Okay, Kirtana, that's the end of your preparation time. You now have 2 minutes to speak. I want you to describe a time when someone asked you for your opinion.
Okay.
Yes.
So the time when someone asked me for my opinion was on my sister's outfit. It was her child's baptism. So she wanted to be a sparklight in the occasion. So she wanted to be she wanted to make a different attire, which is a unique piece. So it's like first she asked me for an opinion because I was too much into the fashion designing. So I was like, okay, let me. First, I took a rain check because I was not that confident, and then I told her, let me try once, and that was a disaster. The first time it was a disaster, and then we had a lot of alternative solutions, and we went out, and we have gone to a different places, a lot of different places, and checked for the materials so that it will suit her and her baby. So and then initially it's like for the second time and the third time this was a failure for me, and then at last I finally took an advice from my friend also who is into the fashion designing field. So I did the fashion designing for her. I stitched it myself for her, and it was actually a success. And people started praising her dress, so I felt I was in cloud nine. And that was the first time when I got recognized as like initially my parents were not allowing me to do anything which is related to the fashion designing. So apparently they fall into place and now they are okay with me to do that. And after that I got recognized and people made people started asking me to design. And also that was the first time I was designing for someone else other than me. So that was a very happy moment for me, and I got recognized in the family as well.
All right. Thank you. Moving on to part three of speaking, I'm going to ask you questions about giving opinions. Are there jobs in which people often need to give their opinions?
Yes, like most in the corporate offices, people used to ask the other employees' opinion so that they can improve their work. So it's like it is preferable to ask opinions from the others. So it's like people might not be having all the viewpoints, so we have to collect it from the people, the other employees.
So, have you had any such experiences at work?
Yes, it's like previously we had a lot of issues with. It's like we had a lack of employees. Many of them went for the maternity leave, and the others got resigned, and I was the only one who was in the team. So they wanted me to work on it, how to make this work more efficient. So it's like I found out a shortcut so that this can be done so fast, and I got recognized for that, and I got a prize. It's like I was the best employee for the month May.
Okay. And if I say people give their opinions about products and services more frequently nowadays, would you agree or disagree?
Medcity IELTS app, a complete learning solution. IELTS listening, reading, writing, and speaking module lessons with grammar classes and free practice materials. Get over 50 hours of video lessons. Download Medcity IELTS app now. Available on Android and iOS platforms.
Yes, it's like nowadays people are they wanted to give their opinion because they want. Nowadays, people go for the products which they need. Not it's like in the previous days, whatever the advertisement are given. Okay, this is a good thing, so they'll go and buy that. But nowadays, it's like they need the product which it's like according to their wish. Normally, it's like nowadays people go behind the herbal products, so they'll go research and then buy the product.
Okay. And do you know why some people don't like giving their opinions?
Some people might think that if they give the opinion, they might be criticized for the opinions, and also some people may not be confident enough to say whether I say this opinion, will that be okay? They have that lack of confidence. That's why people never used to talk it openly.
Okay. What are the kinds of things people often write about in online reviews?
I'm not much into the online reviews, but there are something which I noticed in the YouTube. It's like the products, the cosmetics. People are getting reviews regarding that, and a person who is giving the video will have give a good review, and the comments which is coming over there will be a negative one. So we can't actually rely on the advertisements or maybe the YouTube channels or anything.
All right. And if I say people express their opinions more strongly online than they do face to face, would you agree with me?
Definitely, I'll agree with that because it's like some people tends to give their opinion on a fake name or maybe a pet name, and which means they don't need their name to be published, but they need to give the opinion. It's like sometimes it might be negative or it may be positive. People might think that this is a good thing, or maybe they might get criticized for that.
Okay.
So they use.
To what extent do you think online opinions reflect the general opinion of the society?
Actually, the general opinion is not been coming up nowadays. It's like the online opinions are getting recognized by the people. It's like the general opinion. It's like people never used to talk much, and the online opinions it goes viral, and people all over the world, people are all over the world knows about it. So I think that is a pretty thing.
All right, let's talk about exchanging views. Can you assess the importance of having international conferences to discuss global issues?
I'm not much that into that topic, and I'm not sure I am able to talk about that topic. I'm sorry.
No, what if, let's say, if it is about environment, it's a global issue, environment protection. So, do you think we should have international conferences to discuss these issues?
Yes, actually, it is a necessary thing to be discussed, but people nowadays never go behind the environment. They go behind something which should be a viral thing. So I don't think that will be a good thing.
Okay. How effective do you think international organizations are, like United Nations, in managing different views?
Uh, Pretty well, it's like to have a lot of views. It's like we have to interact with people a lot to get the correct views. It's like some people might be oriented, I mean, centered with one view. The others.
All
will
right,
have-
Kirtana, thank you. That's the end of your speaking test.
Thank you.
For more such exciting videos, download Medcity IELTS app.